Hello everyone. In this video we would be having a detailed discussion on the Rolle's mean value theorem, and in the next video we would be solving some problems on this topic. So let's begin. Let us say if I have a function f which satisfies these three conditions, that it is continuous in the closed interval a comma b, it is differentiable in the open interval a comma b, and the value of the function at a and b are equal. Then the Rolle's theorem claims that there exists at least one c in the open interval a comma b such that the derivative of f at c is 0. So let's look at the three graphs I have drawn here. For the sake of simplicity, I have not drawn the y-axis. So if you look at this graph, the value of the function at a and at b are equal. So initially you can see that the graph has increased. Now to reach back the same value, it has to decrease at some point and reach back to the same value. Now, so since it has increased and then decreased, there will be a turning point, and at that turning point, the derivative of f is 0. So this is our c, which is in the open interval a comma b. If you look at this graph, here also the value of f at a and b are equal. Initially, this graph has decreased. Now to reach back the same value, it has to increase at some point, and then there will be a turning point in the graph at which the derivative will be 0. And now if you look at this third graph, here also the value of f at a and b are equal, and this is nothing but a constant function, so you can say that the value of the derivative of f at each and every point is 0. So we can see that the Rolle's theorem is satisfied in all these three cases. Now let's look at a geometrical interpretation of this theorem. It says that there exists at least one point c in the open interval a comma b at which the tangent is parallel to x-axis. Now remember that the first three conditions are satisfied, then this claim is true. So if you look at this graph, the value of the function at a and b is equal, and this is the turning point. So the derivative of f at this point is 0. Now what do you mean by the derivative of function at some point? It is nothing but the slope of the tangent at that point. Now since the derivative at c is 0, it means that the slope of the tangent is 0 at this point. Now it means that the tangent is parallel to the x-axis at this point. So it can be also said that there exists at least one point at which the tangent is parallel to x-axis. Now if you look at this graph, here also the value of function at a and b are equal, and you can see that there are 1, 2, point number 3, point number 4 and point number 5. There are 5 such points at which the tangent is parallel to x-axis, or the value of the derivative of the function is 0 at 5 such points. Note that the Rolle's theorem says there exists at least one point. We can't exactly predict how many points are there at which the derivative is 0, but we can only claim that there exists at least one such point. So now let us look at the interpretation of this theorem with respect to rate change. So this says that there exists at least one point in the open interval a comma b at which the instantaneous rate of change of function is 0. Now what do you mean by the derivative of function? It is nothing but instantaneous rate of change of function. So since the derivative is 0, it means that the instantaneous rate of change of the function at that point is 0. Now I think you have a clear idea about what Rolle's theorem claims. Let's look at some very fundamental example. Let us say I have a function fx, say x squared minus 5x plus 6, and let us say the value of the function at 1 is 1 minus 5 plus 6, which is equals to say 2, and the value of the function at 4 is 16 minus 20 plus 6, which is again 2. So you can see that the value of the function at 1 and 4 is equal, and anyways this is continuous and differentiable over the entire real numbers. So the Rolle's theorem says that there exists a derivative between 1 and 4. There exists a point at which the derivative is 0 between 1 and 4. So let's verify it. I'm computing the f dash x So it is 2x minus 5, and I'm equating this to 0, and I'm getting x is equals to 5 by 2. Now I can see that this 5 by 2 lies in the open interval 1 comma 4. So this is a very basic example to verify the Rolle's theorem. Now let's dive into more details of this theorem. So here is an important corollary. If f is continuous and differentiable, then between any two roots of f of x is equals to 0, there is at least one root of f dash x is equals to 0. So let us see what this theorem is trying to say. Let us say I have a graph of f which has two roots, let us say alpha and beta, so something like this. Now this corollary is trying to say that between two roots alpha and beta, there will exist a point at which f dash of x is 0. Now this is pretty obvious by the Rolle's theorem that f of alpha is f of beta, which is of course equal to 0, and I have said that the function is continuous and differentiable. So by Rolle's theorem, there will exist a c in the open interval alpha to beta such that f dash c is equals to 0. So it is nothing but a more specific way of saying Rolle's theorem, that instead of f of alpha is equals to f of beta, we said that the roots of the function f of x is equals to 0. It means that f of alpha is equals to f of beta is equals to 0 also. So we can say that between any two roots of the function f of x is equals to 0, there is at least one root of f dash x is equals to 0. Now let's generalize it. If f of x has n roots, let's say if f of x has 3 roots in a closed interval a comma b, then this says that f dash x will have at least n minus 1 roots in the open interval a comma b. Now let me draw a function like this. Say we have 3 roots alpha, beta and gamma. Now by the Rolle's theorem, there will be definitely a point between alpha and beta where the value of the derivative is 0, and again by Rolle's theorem there will be a point between beta and gamma such that the derivative at this point is 0. Say this point is c1, this point is c2. So we can see that there are two roots of f dash x is equals to 0. Now this is at least two roots. We can have more than two roots also. Say for instance, if I draw this graph as, say this is the graph. Here we have 3 roots of the function alpha, beta and gamma. Now you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 points at which the derivative is 0. So we can guarantee that there are at least n minus 1 roots. There might be more. I hope this is pretty clear. This is nothing but the application of the Rolle's theorem. Now let's look at somewhat similar to converse of this theorem, not exactly converse, a little bit of converse of this theorem. It says that if f dash x is equals to 0 has exactly n roots in open interval a comma b, then f of x is equals to 0 will have at most n plus 1 roots in closed a comma b. I think this is pretty obvious by the previous corollary, that if f dash x is equals to 0 has n roots, now f of x can't have more than n plus 1 roots. For example, say f of x has n plus 2 roots, then by the previous corollary f dash x should have at least n plus 1. But that is not the case, since f dash x has exactly n roots. So we are proving this corollary by the contradiction method using the previous corollary, that if f dash x has exactly n, then f of x can have at most n plus 1, since if f of x has more than n plus 1 roots, let us say it has n plus 5 roots, then by the previous corollary we can say that f dash x has at least n plus 4. But this is not the case. F dash x has exactly n roots. So I hope this is pretty clear, and in the next video we will be solving some examples on this theorem to to strengthen our understanding. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, then like, share and subscribe. And if you have any queries, let me know in the comment section. And until then, enjoy mathematics, keep learning. Thanks for watching.